There is no victory without the cross.
Right.
There is no victory without the cross. I had a woman come up to me today. She's like, Father, can you pray for this, that, and the other thing? Because, we're suffering. And I said, hold on. Yeah, I pray for you every day, by the way. But let me just tell you something. This is the worst moment in history as far as sin goes. The worst. Our Lady has said it 3 times for Medjugorje this year. This is the most disobedient age in the history of man. More than the flood, more than Sodom and Gomorrah, more than all these other periods, right? And souls are perishing. We need to go back and adopt the spirituality of Fatima. Those kids knew what to do. How does God rescue souls? He takes our suffering and our crosses and he converts it to grace and he brings people back from the edge of the abyss. That's what happened to me. People were praying for me. They interceded. They were offering up their prayers and penances. And I had a turn of heart and came back to God. This is the most desperate time. If you're a faithful Catholic and you're wondering why you have a cross, you don't understand how it works. This is how it works. And this is what he's going to do. It's not forever. It's for a time. When we have these little crosses and big crosses, you just got to say, Lord, we're going to shoulder this together and we're going to unite by your grace to rescue these people who are perishing before they perish for forever. It's just that simple. I don't know how you could think you wouldn't have crosses in this age with all that's happening in the world, with the crazy things and let me tell you, this is the greatest attack against truth in the history of mankind. Never in
Yes.
history have we seen the most ridiculous things being called truth, things that are so obviously not true. There's no shame in it anymore. It's just call whatever you want, whatever you want. And you know what? It's not just a concept. Truth is a person. Truth is Jesus Christ incarnate. So you should be angry when people are playing fast and loose with lying and deceiving people, because that's the father of lies when you're in that camp. For people that are afraid during these days, I want to let you know that when sin abounds, grace superabounds, and this is the hope. You were born in this generation. God chose you to be here right now in this time. He knew what was going to happen, and he said, this is the person I want here for this. And I'm going to equip them to be a saint in this time, if you want it. And in these dark times, there's so much grace available. You can be formed very quickly. It's like if you put your hand up and say, choose me, I want to be a saint. This big funnel in heaven comes over you and whoosh. And if you're just obedient to responding to the grace and just take the next right step every day towards getting closer to Jesus, you will be a saint. And it's kind of like today we had the calling of the 12. These guys were so ordinary. As Father Benedict Gruchel used to say, they're a bunch of sweaty fishermen. And look at them. They become the apostles, these great shining deacons, and they suffered, but they had the faith and the grace to move through it. And look what happened. The same thing. Look at any saint. Look at little Francisco Borgione becomes the great Padre Pio, or Saul, who's basically a terrorist killing Christians, becomes the great evangelist St. Paul. Like, it was the faith that moved them and the grace that changed them. And it's available to everybody who's alive. Do not be frightened. Every day when we go to Mass, in every single Mass, in that preface, it says, we give you thanks, Father, always and everywhere. If you can get up in the midst of a trial and say, Father, I'm going to thank you because I know you're doing something here. And by your grace, you're saving souls. If we remain faithful to you, you're using this to save souls, and I'm not afraid. Ultimately, I tell people, if you're afraid of dying, you need to get over that, because I'm just going to be the first to tell you, you're going to die. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you've heard it.
Yeah.
You're going to die. Now, how do you live? I have discovered from work, a lot of hospice visits and things like that, the art of dying well is tied to the art of living well. And if you're living your life according to the principles of Jesus Christ and his sacramental life in the church, you have nothing to be afraid of. In fact, you should be longing for your day when you go home to heaven. It's going to be far greater than anything we do in this life. And if you can get to that point, that's when you finally start actually living, because you're not afraid of dying.